Welcome to another episode of Same Cast, Different Day podcast. And I am Martel, ROWLAND. I want to say thank you all for tuning into this episode. So, I work a normal, regular job. I'm a normal guy behind a microphone, just like everybody else out there. So I try to base this podcast for, normal, everyday people who sometimes is here to need to hear stuff from people who are just normal like them, instead of coming from a celebrity or somebody who probably has no type of relation, or like they can't really relate to that person because who it's coming from. So I'm a normal everyday person. So I want to talk about something. So I recently applied for a position at the current facility that I work at, and so basically the position is to basically train you to be a supervisor. Okay, stay with me. So I applied for this position, and a month after applying for this position, I get called to the office. Kind of like, oh, maybe I'm about to hear some good news. Nope. So the supervisor tells me, a person, I shouldn't say supervisor, he's like an operations manager, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so sits me down and say, we decided to give it to somebody else. Now, mind you, this other person that they gave it to, it's this rule where you have to work in your current position for at least 6 months before transferring into a new position. This person was only in their current position for probably about a month and a half, maybe 2. And they did. And gave it to that person. So I'm kind of upset about that. And yeah, I was upset. So, and then I was told, well, what you could do is you can shadow a supervisor and see what they do, and then reapply for the position. So I looked at him with a blank stare. I'm sitting here thinking, like, why would I go shadow somebody to see what it is they do and reapply for a position that's going to train you to be the exact same? I'm like, so in my head, I'm like, so you basically want me to shadow a supervisor, learn what a supervisor does, basically almost like be a supervisor almost, without actually having the title? So me and another coworker who also applied to 3 or 4 of these positions open, we all got transfer papers and transfers them somewhere else. I try not to be very petty about it, but my petty boots came out, and on the transfer paper I had put, I'm no longer happy where I'm working at, and I'm not happy with management, and I have nothing else left to offer, and left it at that. Because at a certain point, like, what else do I need? Like, what else do you need from me? What else do I mean? Like, I've given you everything I have to offer. I've been here for 6 years, and I've been here longer than all these other people that you have given these positions to, but yet you feel like I don't have what it takes. Well, which I say, how could I put it? It's like they believe it's like they believe it's something that I can do, but they don't think I'm capable to do it. And that's what the takeaway was that I got from it. So, I was kind of angry. I spent the whole day angry, and I was like, you know what? This wasn't my path. This wasn't meant for me. And I realized that, and was one of the reasons why I put in a transfer. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to be their loss. Like, outside of this place, like, I have literally built my own brand. Like, it's a brand. I have a podcast that I have active listeners who's listening to the podcast, and I have supporters, and that's all I need, to be honest. And you know what? I'm just gonna put this out there to help you, anybody else out there. Don't let something like that, discourage you from anything. So I'm at the point now where I'm giving myself 6 months, and at the end of that 6 months, either I will be working in a new position, or I will be no longer working at this facility. So yeah, that's the plan that I have going right now. And like I said, and then you know what? I think by me transferring, possibly having a new schedule, that means I won't be working, getting one day off in 9 days. Well, in 10 days. I'm sorry if I heard that. So I get literally gets one day off in 10 days. So to me, transferring is gonna give me more time to be able to make more content for you guys, and to make myself more available to have more guests come on, because with my current schedule, I only can do mostly my recording on Thursdays and probably Saturday mornings. So it will open up my schedule a little bit more to be more flexible, to be able to create more content for everybody out there. So, when don't get discouraged when something like this, happens. And I know it can be very discouraging, but at the same time, you gotta know, like, you know what? I'm better than that, and I'm better than them. And it also gives you a chance to prove them wrong, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove them wrong, and take my take what I have to offer somewhere else to somebody who appreciates it, and who will respect what it is I have to offer, and don't look down on who I am. And that's what I'm going to do. And I wanted to make sure that I made a video. Well, I said a video, this episode speaking on that, because I know there are, like I said, so many people out there who's going through. It might not even be a job. It might be, trying to get a record deal, or that acting gig, or the ambassador position, or something like that. And shout out to Habits 365. I'm sorry, I've been bad at promoting. If you head over to habits365.com, they have a nice selection of like shirts, jackets. I believe they have some jeans and shorts and stuff. Although you probably don't need shorts because the winter is coming up. But yes, you can head over to habits365.com, and I know that if you spend over, I believe, $35 or $40, you get free shipping. And then if you use code Anthony4, you will also get a additional discount. There's this other brand that I'm an ambassador for. I'm going to make sure on the next episode, make sure I have all the details for you, because if you use the code for that, you will receive and also a special discount for that too. But like I said, opportunities are been coming my way, and I've been so grateful. My life is good, and it's starting to become better. And yes, like financially, that would have been more better for me, but I can do it my own way, and I'm going to do it my own way, and I'm going to be my own boss, and that's just how it's going to be. And like I said, this is going to be, to me, it motivates you to do more things, to prove them wrong, to prove you're way more better, and you are worth more, you deserve more, you are more than what they see you. And just believe in yourself is what I want to say, and take that time to motivate yourself, and do not let that discouragement put you down or keep you down. So yeah, for the next few episodes of the podcast, I'm going to try this thing. So I have a chat room going right now, and that was kind of early, and people are at work, so they're not going to pop in. So I'm going to try that and just be able to have like random people pop in. So if you are my Facebook friend, on my private Facebook page, you should be able to see the chat room when it goes up, and join the chat room and join me to be right here on the podcast. So thank you all for listening to this episode of Same Cast, Different Day Podcast. I want to thank you all so much for your support, and it keeps me going, and it means a lot. Tina Marie is doing just fine. Like I said, she's been off due to that. She is pregnant, and she's a little bit of a high risk. So that's why she hasn't been on. And then, her working schedule, both our schedules is like crazy. So, that's why she hasn't been on. But, once things settle down, I'm pretty sure she will be returning back to the podcast with me. So that's an update on that. I believe one of the producers, Darrell, will be hosting 2 episodes of the podcast coming up. At least I think. I'm not sure. I didn't do the scheduling part for that far ahead. That's mostly his job. So yeah. So once again, thank you all for listening to this episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast. I want to say thank you again for all the support that you give me. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Martel ROWLAND, and you can find the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at SCDD Podcast, and you can follow the Same Cast Different Day Facebook page on Facebook. So once again, thank you all for listening, and see you next episode.